Pat Welsh here. You know what that means? Taco Tuesday. Take action, crush obstacles. So, welcome back. Episode 7 of the Warrior Servant Leader podcast. Today, we're going to talk about I hate change. Do you hate change? I do. Before we jump in, let me give a quick shout out to our supporters, longtime supporters of the Warrior Servant Leader mindset. Folks at Law Enforcement Today, Blue Lives Matter, and Police Tribune. If you're not subscribing to one or all of these, you should be. Great folks and really have a heart for law enforcement. So let's jump in. Do you hate change? If you do, why? For most people, we are very, very uncomfortable with change. We may not hate it. And there's some, I don't know, I guess you could call it some good reasons for not liking change. Most often, it involves some sort of fear factor, fear of failure, fear of admitting your own faults and weaknesses, fear of losing control. The biggest reason, though, we hate change is because our ego gets in the way. Ego is our enemy. If you want to read a great book titled by that name, Ego is the Enemy, it's by Ryan Holiday. I learned a lot from reading that book. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about how the human mind works, why we react the way we react many times. And some of the things I learned is everything begins with a thought. Everything starts up here in your noggin and begins with the thought. And those thoughts become attitudes. Your attitude is simply a settled way of thinking. And those attitudes are typically displayed in our behaviors. I mean, have you ever had somebody say to you, I don't like your attitude, or you say it to somebody, particularly like your kids, I don't like your attitude? What we're really saying is we don't like your behavior that is giving me insight to what's going on up here in your head. Well, those behaviors, when you have repeated behaviors, they become your habits. And then habits become your culture. And when I say culture, I mean what you are willing to accept and what you expect from yourself and from other people in your group in the way they think, talk, and act. And that's culture. And when we get in the work culture, you hear it all the time in the law enforcement arena, is the culture of law enforcement needs to change. And people don't understand how to bring about change or what culture really even is. So often, at least in the law enforcement arena, is people see culture as an issue involving race, gender identity, different stuff. When in fact, that's not what culture is. You can't change a person's race, but you can change how people think and what their attitudes are as a result of a settled way of thinking, what their actions are, what their habits are. And if you want to bring about change, You need to start with how people think, not how they behave. Another way of looking at it is how the human mind works is we hear in stereo, we remember in video, and we think in questions. That's how the mind works. Just take this podcast. You may be seeing it, you're certainly hearing it, and you'll remember it in video. You'll remember it up here in your mind. You'll be able to picture listening to or watching this episode. And as you are watching it or listening, you're thinking in questions. We ask ourselves thousands of questions a day. And that can be the stumbling block, is because of what questions are we asking ourselves? What questions are we asking of other people, particularly when it comes to this concept and this challenge to change, when people throw that gauntlet down? And sometimes it's, change or else. There's going to be consequences for failing to change. And all that goes through our minds when we are asked or told to change. I'm a student of Sun Tzu and the Art of War. I don't know anything about martial arts, but I do know about history and philosophy and the psychology of the human mind and how we navigate this journey we call life. And Sun Tzu was a huge advocate, and his followers and commentators over the centuries have developed and studied this. And it comes down to one simple concept when we're talking about change. And the greatest chances of successfully bringing about change, either in your own life or in the lives of other people, is whoever you are asking to change has to see the value in making that change, the value to themselves. It's part of that is that ego thing of what's in it for me. Why should I change? That's the biggest question that you'll face as a leader when you're trying to bring about change in your work environment, in your family, in your personal life, in your faith life. Why should I change? And the answer is, well, what is the value of that change to you? That's what I have to ask you. The person that I want to change is, what is in it for you? You tell me. What is the value you see in doing what I'm asking you to do? Because if you tell me there is no value, then we're going to have a problem. Maybe what I'm asking you to do, the change I'm asking you to make, is not realistic. Maybe it's my fault, if you want to call it that, to ask you to do this change. So we have to have that conversation of what's in it for you. What is the value that will be added? What is the value to our organization, to our department? What is the value to our family to bring about this change? And there's two questions that you need to ask, particularly when you're dealing with a toxic person that is, I don't know, I guess the south end of a northbound horse, if you know what I mean. And they are just digging their heels in, and there is absolutely no way they're going to change. They don't like you, whatever. Whatever the reason is. So you have to ask two questions. And I talk about this a lot when I'm dealing and teaching in the management arena and teaching federal and administrative law in the arena of hostile work environments. There's two questions you have to ask the person that is that toxic individual, that uncooperative person, uh, that rotten apple in the barrel of all the other employees, that they are just poisoning the work environment. There's two questions you have to ask, and you have to ask them. Can you change? And will you change? If the answer is no to either one of those questions, that person shouldn't be in your work environment. They need to find a new job in another company or another agency, or get out of the business entirely. If they will not or cannot change the behavior that is poisoning the work environment, then they need to go. Now, sometimes you're the problem, or I'm the problem, and I have to ask myself those same questions. Can I change, and will I change? And if I don't see the value of the change, then the answer to both those questions is probably going to be no. I guess another way of putting it is, what is your moral compass when it comes to the arena of change in behavior? On my challenge coin, which you see on my websites and different places, on the back of it, the front of it is the warrior servant leader with the shield and Saint Michael. On the back of it is what is engraved on there. Strive to do the right thing at the right time, the right way, and for the right reasons. So when it comes to this concept of recognizing there has to be a change, or you're asked to be involved in change, ask those four questions. What is the right thing to do? What is the right time to do it? What is the right way to do it? And what are the right reasons for doing it? And if you can articulate those and answer those questions, then the person that you are asking to change is more inclined to internalize the value of that change. So, as much as I hate change, I like routines. Habits are hard to break, but on almost a daily basis, I have to go through those steps, those processes, and every day I have to ask myself, as I face challenges, what is the right thing to do? What is the right time to do it? What's the right way to do it? And what are the right reasons for doing it? So, that's my challenge to you is do some of that self-reflection. Start with yourself. Are there things in your life that you need to change? And it doesn't have to be at work. In your personal life, are there things that you know you need to change? And then go through that process. What's the value of making the change? And ask those four questions. Are you doing the right thing at the right time, the right way, and for the right reasons? And if you are, then plug away at making those changes. So, I want to thank everybody for tuning in today. I hope you got something out of this and are challenged and invigorated in your warrior servant leader mindset. Follow us on X and Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, everything. If you just type on any of those platforms, Pat Welsh, JD, uh, you'll find me. If you join up on LinkedIn, be sure and join our newsletter. Right now, we're pushing almost 500 subscribers to the Warriors the Servant Leader podcast newsletter through my LinkedIn page. Uh, and join the community and let's grow together. Love you all and see you next Tuesday.